Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Benny. I have a topic I really want to talk about today, which is the barrier to entry as a car enthusiast. I'm 35. I've been modding cars now probably for the last 10 to 12 years, give or take. I think it really started for me a year outside of college, so 2014, 2015. So about a decade ago. And my thought is like, the cars that I was interested in, like this E36, this 911 over here, back in 2013, 2014, 2015, a different time where the car community, social media wasn't as big. It felt a bit more, if you knew, you knew, and a bit more underground, just like how I want to compare it to the boom of like video gaming, house music, streaming, things like that. A lot of things have changed in society and culturally with just the community. So, for instance, like the car meets that I used to attend, the night meets back when I was like in my young 20s to my mid 20s, was like invite only. If you didn't know where to go, you would have to join the group chat or know who's going to get some info. Nowadays, like all these big events is posted on social media, everyone's there, it's crazy, things like that. But I know that's a bit of a tangent, but I really wanted to talk about how hard it is, I guess, for a young enthusiast to find the right car and really enjoy the passion, right? Back when I was trying to buy, a sports car, things like that, I remember E36s were going for $10,000 or less for an E36 M3 of any generation, right? But nowadays, I think a nice E36 M3 is going for $20,000 to $30,000, and low mileage examples, for instance, are going way more than that. And it's crazy to think, like, is there just a bigger demand? Is it my generation of millennials getting into our earning years and chasing our dreams of the cars that we couldn't attain in our teenage to young 20s? Because I remember like looking at a 997 turbo, I was like, wow, $80,000. That's a huge chunk of money. And at the time when I was trying to buy one, I'll be frank, I couldn't afford it. I bought the next best thing, which was an option. And I feel like those options aren't available anymore. For instance, this is 2018. I had an F80 M3. I was very blessed and lucky. I worked very hard. And at that time, I was like, I want to try something new. I've had the car about 2 to 3 years and I modded it. I did a ton of things, put in exhaust, things like that. And I was like, okay, my dream car is a 997 turbo, and they're going for $80,000 to $90,000 at this time. And the one I was looking at was probably the bottom of the barrel, the least expensive one, which was a clean car, and it was around $80,000, and I could not afford that. But I found the next best thing, which was a R35 GTR. It was literally the direct competitor in my eyes to what a turbo was, or one of the competitors, right? And that car wasn't, inexpensive. I paid $66,000 plus tax. But like today, let's go to today's values of the same car. An R35 GTR is in the high 80s, 90s, probably some examples in the hundreds. I haven't really checked the market, but I know, they are more expensive today. And the 911 Turbo, if I try to go buy one today, this exact car with the mileage I found 2 years ago, I can't afford it. That's the reality. And it's either a mixture of demand, social media, inflation, and other factors that are really pushing these cars up. And especially with new car examples being the new model of my turbo is like, it starts at like $250,000. And if you go back in the day, original sticker for this car, if I'm correct, is between 160 and like 170 for my vehicle, and that's still a lot of money. But like, think about it. This car was sold back in 2012 for about 160 to 170,000 dollars, brand new. A new Turbo S today, a 992.2, I'm pretty sure is 250 plus with options. You're in the $300,000 mark, and there's a lot of vehicle and a lot of options at that price point. And so I know we're talking about more expensive cars, but like, let's just talk about E46 M3s, E90s M3s, or, you know, other cars. Like, they're all going up in value, and I'm worried that it's harder for people to, you know, enter, you know, into this passion and love for vehicles. And, you know, like, I was just at Cars and Coffee Morrisville. I saw a kid in a younger gentleman, and I was like so stoked that he was more interested in a older vehicle that was, if I had to guess, $15,000 or less. It was like an older Mercedes-Benz R129. I have a little like soft spot for that car. Maybe I'll get one day, but like, I'm glad that the younger generation is gravitating towards, you know, different cars. Like, when I was in my 20s, I was not looking at a Mercedes-Benz 129. You know, I was looking at like M3s, McLaren F1s, whatever you can think of. But like, I'm trying to like see like what options is available now for young enthusiasts. Like, outside of your Miata, which you can find like an NC3 for $12,000 to $20,000, S2K starting at $20,000, high mileage, probably neglected. So a clean example, you're probably looking at $25,000, $30,000 for an S2000. It's kind of mind-boggling, like, the value of more of these older cars are appreciating, because we just can't make cars like that anymore. And like, you know, driver focused vehicles don't really exist. All these, you know, nannies, the weight of the vehicles, you know, a lot of things are changing, and I just feel like the manufacturers and probably the, you know, the DOT and whoever does the safety regulations for the US, you know, they're kind of ruining what a fun car should be. And that's a concern. I don't know. This is a rant. Let me know what you think. I honestly think that we're in a great place right now in the car community, but it's also a hard time to enter the car community. With social media, I think car culture is bigger than it's ever been. There's the good, there's the bad, and there's everything in between. I want to hear your thoughts. Put a comment down below. I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Peace.